Welcome back to episode 7 of the Nate Stowe Show. Today we're going to talk about nutrition, how to make it simple. We're going to talk about why I think Coach Payton is better than Coach Belicheck. And finally, a spoiler-free review of the movie The Beach Bums, starring the one and only Matthew McConaughey. Let's start with nutrition, though. One thing that you need to remember is when you're reading different nutrition guides and books and manuals and stuff is that they're talking to a very large audience. So when I make like my restaurant guide or I make my nutrition guide, I'm going to hand that same guide to a 70-year-old grandma that I'm going to hand to a 20-year-old collegiate athlete. So it's going to be very broad and very general. So there's definitely going to be these instances where we might need to tailor that a little bit for you versus just this general opinion. And in fact, that's why coaching exists. That's why I have a job, is to tailor it to someone. So with that thought being said, someone was saying that they were surprised that in my restaurant guide, I went with flour tortillas over corn tortillas. And that right there is what I say is majoring in the minors. The difference between a flour and a corn tortilla is so minuscule that it's really not worth turning someone off from trying to make a better choice of I'm thinking in this case, I'm thinking about their boyfriend who's a giant 10-year-old is what she says. And, he's probably not going to eat it if I say corn tortilla. What's important is that I said 1 taco and not 5. So that's what's important. So we're just trying to figure out these big rocks. So try not to get too bogged down in this ingredient or that ingredient. When you have an overall weight loss goal, all we're trying to do is get you to eat less food. Just realizing that, hey, this is how many calories are in this is how many calories are in that. And just being cognizant that taco's got 500 calories in it, so you only should get 1 and you normally got 3. That's important. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, if you're not just trying to lose weight, you're trying to lose body fat, that's where the difference between a corn and a flour tortilla can matter. It's that quality of food. You got to have the higher quality stuff so that as you lose weight, you're only losing fat and you're not losing muscle. So, but if you're trying to lose 40 and 50 pounds, I don't really care if it's fat or muscle. I just need you to lose weight. So it's just eat less food, be cognizant of it, and you're going to be good. While we're on that subject, there's also talk about meal frequency. So you got your intermittent fasting, and then you got your eat 6 times a day camp. So here's what's interesting. When you eat food, you produce a hormone called ghrelin, G-R-E-H-L-I-N. What that hormone does is makes you hungrier. So when you eat food, you produce a hormone that makes you hungrier to eat more food. Pretty interesting, right? When you're not eating food, you produce a hormone called leptin, L-E-P-T-I-N. It's what you produce at night, and it's why you can go to sleep for 8 hours and not wake up in the middle of the night starving. So as you don't eat, you have more leptin, so therefore you're not as hungry, so you don't eat as much. I, for one, don't think you need to eat 6 times a day because you end up eating what? More calories, because you produce more ghrelin, you're hungrier, you eat again, and you just end up in a caloric surplus, you gain weight. So I think it's totally fine to eat 2 or 3 times a day, but when you eat, just make sure it's nutritious food, so you get all your vitamins, you get all your minerals, you get all that. You're not eating once a day and eating pizza, where there's no nutritional density to it. So quality of food is going to determine whether you're losing body fat or muscle as you lose weight, and quantity, how much, is whether or not you gain or lose weight. And that's really all there is to it. It's that simple. Every book and diet out there is just revolving around these facts, and they're just finding different strategies to help you do those 2 things. Try not to get weighed down in the weeds, if you will. Try not to major in the minors. Just focus on those 2 big things, and then focus on it for life. So the other thing is that sometimes we'll stick to this diet or this eating plan for a day or a week or something like that, and it's not life. So that's also the problem. It's got to be what you do. It's as my boy Nadu says, fitness is a lifestyle. So it's just got to be what you do at all times. So anyway, that's nutrition. A lot of stuff covered right there. I could come back and break this down in some future videos, but had someone really needed some help, so just want to get that out of the way. Okay, moving on. I think Coach Payton is better than Coach Belichick. You heard it right here first. Here's why. Belichick's had 18 winning season. That's amazing, but his division sucks. What, you got the Dolphins? You got the Jets? And who else is in there? The Bills. Like those guys, I don't know the last time they had a winning season. So it's very easy to win your division, get to the playoffs, and get a top seed when you're playing crap teams all the time. Look at who Payton's got, man. We got the Panthers who went to the Super Bowl. We got the Falcons who went to the Super Bowl. So we got 2 Super Bowl appearing teams in our division. So we're always kind of beating up on one another, which hurts our overall record, makes it hard to get in the playoffs, makes it hard to get a top seed because we're playing Super Bowl worthy teams. So Payton's better than Belichick. You heard it here first. Hey, Mike. You heard it here first. Just the Patriots division is trash. So I'd like to see the Saints play in the AFC East all these years. There's no telling how many times we would have gotten the number 1 seed. So anyway, I'll take Payton every day of the week. And finally, let's talk about the beach bum. The beach bum to me was basically, it took like an hour before there was ever a hint of a plot, which is not a bad thing. It's basically just Matthew McConaughey hanging out on the beach, drinking PBRs and smoking pot with Snoop Dogg, Martin Lawrence, and Jonah Hill. So I likened it to Dazed and Confused. So if you like Dazed and Confused, where it's just like kind of a day in the life of, and they're just kind of hanging out, and it's all about the music and about the scenery and just a bunch of like stupid jokes that, but again, like no real plot. I think that the actual plot is whether or not the dude decides to sign up for football the next year, like just such a strand of a plot. Same thing with the beach bum. There was actually literally no plot until about an hour in. I actually got up, went to the bathroom, missed 2 minutes. I actually missed the plot and had to have Laura tell me because it literally was like a 2-minute setting. And then they quickly swept the plot away. With all that being said, if you like Dazed and Confused, you're going to like this movie. It's basically McConaughey's same character, only he's 20 years older and lives on the beach. So there you go, The Beach Bum. Fun movie, no plot. But if you just like silliness for the sake of silliness, you're going to enjoy the movie. I know I did. That's it, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow.